Went a big game on Friday against St. Pat's. How are the squad feeling going into it?
Good, yeah. After the break, it was good to get a result up in Derry. Obviously, we go to win games, but in the circumstances, probably a draw was a good result. Looking to build on that now for Friday. Pat's obviously a great team, but we get a good week's training under us. Had a good session yesterday, and building into the game now on Friday.
What do you make of the Pats team as well? What do you think you're looking at going into the game?
They're a great team, they have a great squad. Stephen Kenny has them well drilled. We beat them obviously earlier in the season, and then they beat us up in St. Pat's 2-0. So we know we can get at them causing problems, but we'd be silly to think that we can just walk all over them because they're a great squad. They'll bring their own challenges. They pass the ball well, so we'll have to be very disciplined if you want to get a result.
Yeah, and obviously it's a home game as well, so the crowd will play a huge role. What sort of atmosphere are you expecting on Friday?
Yeah, the same as always. The crowd are always come out in their numbers. They're brilliant. They create a great atmosphere. Even if we're winning in the game, they really drive us on to hold that lead. Whether we're drawing or losing, they're still behind us. So it's great when you have that support. Really pushes you on.
Yeah, and it's a big game as well. Do you treat games like this different to any other ones?
No, you have to be professional. Really, there's obviously different games. Probably in the Division 1 it was a bit different. You'd have different type teams, but when you're in the Premier, they're all big games really. Every team causes their own problems. Everyone can beat each other in the Premier, so you really have to just prepare as if you were preparing for any other game.
Yeah, and then about yourself as well, you've been at the club for about 4 or 5 years now. How have you found your journey at the club?
Very good, yeah. Very happy with how it's gone so far. Just building every year. You come in. My first time into full time when I got here the first year, so you get used to things fairly early on. Probably took a while to get used to the full time environment and training and everything, but just building on it every year. You look back 4 years ago, I'm a complete different player to what I am now. But it's just little things really that you build on week by week, and it adds up over time.
And you've played over 100 games consecutively for Galway United. How do you go about that?
I don't think you look too far ahead really. Just take each game as it comes. Like that consistency really about just getting the work in the week. Training, gym, recovery work. Make sure it's all simple, but it's all good stuff that adds up over the time.
Yeah, and obviously you've been living in Galway a while now. Can you tell us a bit about kind of where you're living and what you go about outside of football as well?
Yeah, I'm living out by Oranmore. When I first moved up, I was in Moycullen and Knocknacarra, so I've kind of been all around Galway, just close to the city as well. It's a great city to live in, but you can't really get caught up too much in the social part of it too much. But it's great to be able to get down to Salt Hill after training for a swim. Good for the recovery, good for the head as well. But it's a great city really, and I'm enjoying it.
Lovely. And what sort of changes have you seen in the years you've been at the club, on or off the pitch?
It's really come on the fans, I think, really. When I first came, even playing against Galway, when I was at Cove, there definitely wasn't as many fans as there is now. It's really gotten big. When I probably first moved to Galway, I noticed there was a lot of GA fans, rugby fans, whereas now I think you're seeing a lot more Galway United jerseys around the place. Fans coming to every game, and you've that younger generation as well that are coming through as fans as well, which is great because it's them kids that really, when you're looking 20, 30 years time, they're the people who've been coming all their life, and they're the real fans.